Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about cooking for your dog. So this is something that I've just started doing for Furry a few weeks ago, so I want to share my experience with you so far and hopefully inspire you to incorporate some more fresh food into your dog's diet too. So I've searched all over the place trying to make sure that I have the correct information so that I can make her nutritious food. So that is what I'm going to be sharing with you today, but I do want you to keep in mind that I am just a dog mom who has done research and I am not a vet, I am not a nutritionist, so I encourage you to do your own research as well. So the reason I decided I would do this is because if you guys watched the vlog a few weeks ago, I had shared that the brand that we were getting her fresh food from had changed and they are no longer human grade. So it really just lit a fire under me to go ahead and just start cooking for her. A big problem that I have seen throughout my life with animals is that a lot of pet food companies do end up having recalls. And you know, it's really unfortunate because a lot of times the only reason a recall is issued is because if there has been loss of life, you know, and it's usually not just one, you know, it'll be hundreds or thousands. So it's always been something that's been on my mind anyway, at least to diversify where we get our food from, which is why Furry has 3 different types of food that she eats. We do a kibble, we do a freeze-dried raw, and then we also do a fresh food of some type. So today I'm gonna share a few recipes with you that we've made. I'm actually gonna show you the cooking process and how all that goes, let you see Furry's reactions and all of that. I do want to mention to you guys that the recipes that I made for her these first 2 times that I'm sharing with you today are recipes that I did not add any type of a grain to. The reason I chose not to do this on these particular meals is because Furry, like I told you guys, she does have other sources of nutrients. So I don't necessarily feel like that's something that that it was gonna hurt her to not have, let me put it that way, in these meals. So the general rule is 75% protein, 15% veggies, 10% carbs. And this is something that, depending on where you get your information from, some places say that grains are not necessary at all for dogs, some places say they are, some places say you can add it if you want to. And I'm kind of the middle of the road on that. I don't feel like it's necessarily bad, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, we don't have a grain today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I feel like cool if we have it, fine if we don't. And then good fats, like fish oils and different things like that. And for those, it needs to be 5% if it's like an adult dog. Of course, assuming, this is all assuming your dog is just like in normal health, right? Like a healthy dog. So 5% seems to be like the correct amount, and then up to 8% if it's puppies or of course nursing or pregnant mothers. So those are the percentages, which I know this does not equal 100%. Also, I put a list of safe dog fruits and vegetables on my website as well, and I'll flash those on the screen for you too. But I want to mention that if you are going to incorporate fruits, keep in mind that those have a lot higher of a sugar content, so you need to be very minimal with the fruits that you add. Certain fruits do have benefits, like blueberries are really great for antioxidants. There's a lot of different reasons that you might want to feed certain types of fruit, but just keep in mind with any type of fruits or vegetables that are sweeter, that you want to keep in mind that sugar is not a necessary thing for dogs to have a lot of. So, you know, if it's a day where they're having maybe, let's say, blueberries, then maybe you wouldn't add apple too, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to do is do this very purposefully. So I'm trying to actually look at the ingredients and pick things that are going to complement each other and things that are going to have different nutrients in it. So just like you want to keep your diet nice and diverse so that you're not just consuming the same exact nutrients over and over again, that's kind of the same thing I'm trying to do with Furry. She's laying right here, y'all can't see her. And also you need to add a supplement. So the like meats and vegetables and grains that we're giving them, these are not going to have all of the minerals that your dog needs, so you do need to pick a supplement. I will link the one that I have picked for you guys. I'll actually show it to you in a minute whenever we're cooking as well. I have not used this long enough to tell you how I feel about it. Furry likes it. It seems to be complete. It came highly recommended in a few groups where I asked about this type of stuff, so I feel like it's a really good starting point. But once again, I encourage you to do your own research on that, because that's, you know, a really big part of it is their supplements, the vitamin and minerals that they're getting. That's a really, really, really big part. So everything says it's safe to feed your dog brown rice, but I personally have a problem with that just because of all rice has arsenic in it. And we already get arsenic from other sources on accident. So I just don't feel like there's a good reason for me to add that to her meal. But I did want to mention it because I have feelings about it. So I just wanted to share. I don't think it's right for me to not tell you that, since I know that information and I'm sharing this with you. We're jumping back in time here in a minute because I'm going to show you the first recipe I cooked for her and the second recipe and her reactions and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Like I said, I will have all of the resources linked below. Heard that it's for her. Actually, I opened the oven to look at it and she smelled it, and she must know that that is not anything mommy would eat. So she is so excited about that. And then I told her it's for her too, right? Yeah, it's gonna be for you, huh? Yeah, Mama's cooking for Furry for the first time ever. So I have baked her chicken and I have roasted some vegetables for her. These vegetables, I feel like the squash got cooked pretty decent. And then honestly, I kind of wish I'd pulled the broccoli a little bit before, but that's okay. It's all for learning and just getting used to stuff. Actually just used, yeah, yay is right, yes. I used the food processor to cut up the squash and broccoli, and I did the squash separate than the broccoli because I thought the squash was going to take more pulses, but it actually didn't, so I could have just saved time and put it all in there at once. And I don't know that I'm going to use all of this with all that chicken, because this chicken, I feel like we need more, I feel like we have more vegetable to chicken ratio, so we're probably going to freeze part of this and then save it for next time we buy chicken, because I think that's way too many vegetables for the chicken. So this is the portion I'm gonna freeze. So it's not a whole lot, but it's a pretty decent amount, maybe half of it or so. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Isn't that so pretty? It looks so fresh. So I stuck a few sprigs of cilantro in here for her. I kind of left them big so that she can pick it out if she doesn't like it, and that way we don't ruin the whole topple. I know, you're so excited, aren't you? So I ended up putting yogurt on top of it because I thought that I had frozen yogurts and I didn't, and I mentioned it, and so I had to give her yogurt because that's not right. At the time of serving, I'm going to be adding this as well. You do not put this in before your food is prepared. You don't put it in heated or anything. You just put it in right before you actually serve it to your dog. Alright, so her roasted vegetables are done and her turkey meat is done. And y'all saw I actually soaked up any of the like greasy fat stuff with a paper towel. There's got to be a better way to do that, but it was kind of a surprise to me. Y'all know I don't really cook meat, so it was a surprise to me that there was that much grease. So I just soaked it up the best I could. We'll figure out a better way for that in the future. And then as far as her vegetables goes, I ended up throwing tomatoes in about 5 minutes before it was done so that they could burst, but I didn't really want them, you know, to be cooked for as long as the rest of the vegetables. So we're gonna let this stuff cool down completely, and then I'm gonna put the vegetables in the food processor to chop them up really small, and then we'll mix vegetables and meat together. Also chopped up some cilantro, but because Furry is not a big fan, I chopped it up and I put it in a separate container. My plan is to just put a little bit of this each day, and that way she can pick it out, because I don't want to ruin all of her food, you know what I mean, if she won't eat it. This is what it looks like when it's all done. So it has ground turkey, squash, broccoli, carrots, and tomatoes in this. And then we're gonna add cilantro fresh daily. And we're also gonna add the RX vitamins for pets. All right, so you can see it made a lot. So I just wanted to mention, make sure that whenever you're freezing it, you freeze it in portions small enough for you to defrost, you know, so it's safe. You obviously could freeze this all in one container, but then it's gonna be harder for you to break it up. So I'm making her topple. So this is actually the first day she's having this. I just portioned a ton of it out, as y'all saw, and put it in the freezer. So this is what we have left. All right, so we're just putting some of the meat mixture in first. I decided to put a little bit of yogurt and a ramekin so that I can mix this powder. So her vitamin powder, just because that's a lot of powder going on. I'm just gonna add a little bit of cilantro to this. I'm also gonna crush up a couple of blueberries in here. I'm gonna put a little bit more meat up here too. You want it? Yeah, you do want it? Okay, come on. So this is the first time that she's having that vitamin mixture, so I want you guys to see her reaction. This is actually her first time she's having this food at all. All right, so it seems like she likes the vitamin mixture just fine. I also put cilantro in there, so I wasn't sure if she was gonna be totally disgusted, but I think she's doing good. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope this inspired you to make your dog some fresh food and to give them some more fresh ingredients in their diet. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you spending time with us. We will see you next week. Bye, guys.